Yeah, I got some and I put like a opacity mask on them in the material editor, which makes them creepy. You can see this one, which is supposed to be like a Karen Halloween mask. This one is the lady who called the police on that some Latino dude in San Francisco. And this is a lady who called the police on black people having a barbecue. So as you can see, it's a hall of Karens. Um, yeah, that coffee machine is also an objective. Once you reach it, the objective is over, and it says it will change to leave storeroom area. It's not an interaction objective, as I made clear before. It's just a walk near it, and the objective gets cleared. Let me just go show you an example. As you can see, it switched to leave storeroom area after I reached it. So I've just named the boss Pontiff Karenin for now as kind of like a joke, like a Dark Souls reference, but I'll probably change it to something. Uh, I mean, actually, that sounds fine. Pontiff Karenin. It's like comedic, whatever. Um, what else? Oh, I forgot to mention. I also implemented a lot of, well, not a lot, just like a miniature narrative that is told with little notes scattered across the map. Which basically the notes are designed to lead you to the AI, the NPC AI that I showed earlier. He's not actually like central to the level. You just can visit him and he can give you information if you happen to find the notes or if you just happen to come across this place. Um, let's see. Is it controlling or no? Okay. Well, it's not opening right now. Let me just look through that real quick. Okay. Sorry about that. I just had a bit of an issue with the notes, the narrative stuff. Is that I hadn't replaced I've been having a lot of issues with the input keys, where they're overlapping with each other, so I have to move them around a lot. So basically, you can see if I go here, go near it, enter the collision box, you can read this little bit of narrative, and then walk away, and then it automatically closes. Or you can press E. Right now, if you press E again, it might go to like the next note. I don't know why it does that. Well, sometimes it does, yeah. As you can see, it said day 4 or day 5. It's kind of a glitch. I don't know how to fix that, but I'll get on it. Another thing I wanted to mention was that I switched my weapon from using projectiles, actual projectiles, to to line tracing. So basically, what that means is because the only reason I did that was because initially, when I shot my projectile, the only way for it to do damage to Karens was for it to overlap their mesh. Um, but that in order for me to do that, I had to make the projectile base overlap all actors. And since I did that, it would overlap walls and areas like this. Like, it would just go through walls. I know that because I had a print string where it said Karen takes damage every time one takes damage. So I would be sitting here, shooting bullets into the wall, and it would be doing a ton of damage and killing them. With line tracing, that doesn't matter because once the line trace hits a physical object, it just doesn't do it anymore. It just doesn't go through. Like, let me actually show you that. Let's go to the weapons, or it's actually in my third person BP. So blueprints, weapons. But the only downside of that was I had to copy paste my my AI damage code, like, and reintegrate it into the projectile base almost 5-6 times, and I had to do it with the destructible environments as well, because they were all set up to be with they were all set up to work with the regular projectiles, and I had to fix them to make them work with this. Yeah, line trace by channel, as you can see. Like, you can even if I set it to persistent, um, you can actually see the line traces as I shoot them. And if I, for example, go back down, go up here. Oh, where is it? Alt-E. I always have an issue with this. Yeah, that's what I meant by my buttons overriding each other. I've set the door opening to Alt-E and the other stuff to Shift-E and stuff like that, but sometimes it overrides anyway. This door is set to actually lock behind you, so after it closes you can't leave. It has a little bit of a glitch where when you exit the collision box, it snaps open and closed really quick. I'll plan on fixing that, but as of now, it successfully stops the player from leaving. That was kind of bothering me, the idea that players could just leave, so I did that. Yeah, wait, yeah, I was going to show off the line traces. As you can see, sometimes the AI don't really work, don't know what their problem is. Um, but yeah, sometimes they will attack me. As you can see now, they're attacking me. But sometimes they won't. It's not even exclusive to any particular player, they just will, and sometimes they just won't. But as you can see, there's a red line trace when the projectile actually will hit, and then there's a green line trace after the line no longer, well, not the projectile. Okay, I'm kind of glitched stuck here. This Karen got me glitched. Oh, I gotta reload. Okay, killed the Karen. As you can see, there's different types of Karens. When I killed the tall Karen, it said killed tall Karen. When I killed the small one, or the regular ones, it said killed regular Karen. As you can see, the line traces, the green ones are when it doesn't do anything, and the red ones are when it actually does damage at the point of impact. And it shows the point of impact. And I also implemented some tracing for the Q3. Is over here? Tracing in particular. Which basically, let me show you an example that if I can. Let me pause for a second. Okay, so as you can see, this is the sphere tracing. This is actually what allows me to speak with the NPCs. So let me show you a physical example of that, since I've turned on the sphere trace's actual physical appearance. Play. So it didn't crash. Okay. As you can see, okay, right now it's just creating a million spheres. Don't know what's up with that. Oh, it's because I set it to persistent. So if you just do for one frame, I believe, I'll just set it to black for now, whatever. I set it to black because I thought that's how you make it invisible until I realized you could just turn it invisible regularly. Yeah, as you can see, how sphere trace works is when you're not facing him, it doesn't give you the interact check when you're near him. It gives you the interact check. If you're not facing him, it doesn't. If it does, it does. That's sphere tracing. I wouldn't use sphere tracing for weapons though, for obvious reasons. Let's go to third person. Just wanted to show that for an example. None. Pile. Okay, so something I neglected to mention before was that I've actually, or I might have, I don't believe I have though, was that I've actually implemented a lock door function so that the player cannot actually enter the boss arena, which is behind a locked door, until they've gotten this key from up here. But before then, if you enter the Is this the area? No, that's the opposite way. Before, yeah, if you go there before you, as you can see, there's a bunch of Karens here. You go to the boss area where you have the key and you've explored the whole level. You can't enter. That's just my way of doing it. And if you try to open the door, you might hear the, as you can see, it's a bit glitchy right now. Well, you might have heard the lock door sound effect that is there before, um, before I had to leave, but yeah, there's a lock door sound effect. Doo -doo -doo -doo. So anyway, yeah, that's the storeroom. There's probably a few things I neglected to mention, but I think that's all the major things covered. Some other things are, well, I guess I just thought of one. I have a toggle perspective function. You can go into third and first by switching cameras. There's two cameras, a follow camera, which is right inside my face, and there's one that's way behind, so you can see an actual physical mesh to follow. But other than that, yeah, that's about it for the levels that I can think of. If I neglected to mention anything, I'll put it in the write-up for the sprint.